Your Excellencies and distinguished guests, please welcome the First Lady of the United States, Melania Trump.
Good morning. Ambassador Crowley, Ambassador Waltz, Secretary McMahon, Deputy Secretary Landau, Director Krastius, Chairman Ferguson, Special Envoy for the Best Future Generations, Charles Harder. Thank you all for being champions, for fostering the future together. It is wonderful to receive such an impressive delegation of world leaders, first spouses, and be best in class tech companies, all with a shared purpose to empower our next generations, advancement in technology and education. Welcome, Albania, Antigua and Barbuda, Aruba, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Bangladesh, Belize, and Bolivia. It is my distinct honor to have Burundi, Cabo Verde, Congo, Costa Rica, Dominican Republic, Ecuador, Equatorial Guinea, Estonia, France, Gambia, Georgia, Ghana, and Guatemala here in Washington, D.C. Greetings, Israel, Kenya, Kosovo, Lithuania, Malta, Malawi, Montenegro, Morocco, Nigeria, North Macedonia, Palau, Panama, and of course, Paraguay. Hello, Poland, Romania, Senegal, Serbia, Seychelles, Sierra Leone, Slovenia, St. Kitts and Nevis, Ukraine, and UAE. As people, we dream. As leaders, we progress. As nations, we will build. Beginning today, let's accelerate our new global alliance, this bond, to positively impact the progress of our children. Welcome, members, to the inaugural meeting of Fostering the Future Together. Our coalition's mission is to empower children by providing greater access to technology and education. This is a historic moment in time. Our key driver, to cultivate the skills young people need to be successful in this rapidly evolving world. Fostering the Future Together will achieve this by creating innovative learning programs, advocating for supportive education policies, sponsoring new tech-focused legislation, and building strong partnerships between the public and private sectors. Each of you has a vital role to play in shaping the tech ed opportunities for the next generation. Fostering the Future Together's collaborative platform will serve as a capability multiplier for members. This added benefit is derived directly from our coalition's foundational elements: AI, education, and global leadership. Our shared vision prioritizes children above political philosophy, geographical borders, and local prejudices. To turn this vision into action, I invite each of you to participate, commit to hosting a regional meeting, conduct a research study, advance new partnerships, collaborate with another member nation in your region of the world. Magic happens in our nation's capital, particularly when the private and public sectors join forces. Today's meeting is unprecedented. I commend America's leading companies for convening with us today. Never before have so many tech visionaries stood before such a large global audience of leaders in the State Department and the White House over the 2-day period. Nowhere else could such a concentration of excellence be assembled, from AI pioneers like OpenAI, Palantir, and xAI, to tech platforms like Google and Meta, creative engines like Adobe and Microsoft, plus human connectivity through Zoom communications. This room is filled with extraordinary human capital. Leaders, harness it to elevate your children, to empower your people, and to accelerate your economies. Our Coalition for Leaders will improve our future, but only by supporting concrete initiatives that equip young people with the skills and knowledge they need. Together, let's invest, expand success, and create opportunities for education and technology. I wish everyone great success during Fostering the Future Together's Global Coalition Summit. There is much to accomplish over this 2-day period, and this is only the beginning. Thank you.
Well, good morning. Good morning, Your Excellencies. I am Ambassador Monica Crowley, Chief of Protocol of the United States, and it is such an honor and a delight for me to join you here today in this incredibly important initiative launched by the First Lady of the United States, Mrs. Melania Trump. We're so honored to be joined by first spouses, distinguished guests, and industry leaders here at the United States Department of State. What a delight to hear those opening remarks from our First Lady, Melania Trump, who has gathered us all here today under the auspices of her visionary Fostering the Future Together initiative. We now look forward to hearing from all of you as we kick off our working session. The working session will be divided into 4 different topics: artificial intelligence in education, Edtech tools, digital literacy and skills, and safety and protection online. We have allotted 20 to 40 minutes for each discussion. Your moderators will be senior U.S. government officials who possess leadership and expertise in today's subject matter. Speakers for each subject area have been identified in advance and will speak in alphabetical order by country. If there is a balance of time, we will move to brief 1-minute interventions at the moderator's discretion. Finally, please make yourselves comfortable here today. Do not hesitate to take a short break. If you are required to at any point, staff is available outside to escort you to where you may need to go. I'm now very pleased to kick off this morning's session by welcoming Director of White House Office of Science and Technology Policy, Mr. Michael Kratsios, to introduce and moderate our first topic. Michael.
I want to thank First Lady Melania Trump for hosting today's Fostering the Future Together Global Summit. This is a historic convening of dozens of First Ladies and gentlemen from around the world at a truly critical inflection point as our nations navigate the future of children and technology. As a President's National Science and Technology Advisor, I work closely with the First Lady and administration leaders here today on policies to ensure America's children can thrive in the digital age. Just last week, the White House released a national legislative framework for AI, which called on Congress to strengthen online protections for children. At the same time, we are working to proactively prepare and empower young people to fully realize the benefits of AI. The United States is committed to expanding AI education in K-12 schools nationwide. Our First Lady herself has spearheaded many of our AI education initiatives, launching the Presidential AI Challenge and securing hundreds of millions of dollars in commitments from the private sector and nonprofits to provide free AI tools to students, educators, and parents. We're also working closely with the Department of Education, the Department of Energy, and the National Science Foundation to invest in and expand AI education programs, especially those that help teachers learn to teach about AI at different age-appropriate stages. The most important thing we can do collectively to set the next generation up for success is to prepare them to use, understand, and build AI. And that starts with K-12 classrooms. Every student should learn basic foundational knowledge about AI, what algorithms are, how machine learning works, what technology is good for, and what is it that their limitations are. Teaching about AI in K-12 isn't only about inspiring future STEM leaders. Every career path will use AI as a tool in some way. So every child should be able to fully take advantage of AI application is a pressing issue all around the world. We very much look forward to the robust discussion and insights that will take place today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kratsios. Okay, let's open our discussion here today. I would first like to invite the First Lady of Bosnia and Herzegovina, Mrs. Mirela Becikovic. Her Excellency, where are you, please, ma'am?
Here.
There you are. Please, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Respected First Lady Melania Trump, esteemed First Ladies and gentlemen, Excellencies, distinguished guests, it is a great honor for me to be here today and to participate in a discussion that shapes the future of our children. Artificial intelligence in education. I thank the First Lady Melania Trump for the invitation and for her initiative to bring us together to discuss this important topic. Today, we live in a time of rapid technological changes. Artificial intelligence is already changing the way we learn and communicate. Children who sit in classrooms today are growing up in a digital world. Because of this, education systems must find ways to use technology responsibly and for the benefit of students. Artificial intelligence can be a powerful tool in education. It can help teachers better understand the needs of students and help children learn at their own pace. But technology itself is not a solution. Teachers remain essential for the development of curiosity, values, and responsibility in children. It is therefore important that we use artificial intelligence as a tool of support to teachers and not as a replacement for them. In Bosnia and Herzegovina, we also recognize the importance of the digital transformation of education. Our universities and researchers are increasingly working on the development and application of artificial intelligence, and in our education system, we are strengthening students' digital competencies. Children learn how to use technology, but also how to think critically and responsibly. At the same time, we are aware of the challenges. Questions of ethics, security, and the protection of children in the digital space must be at the center of our policies. As a mother, I believe that education is the most important investment in the future. Our responsibility is to give children the knowledge and values to use technology in a way that connects people and builds a better society. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Now I am pleased to invite the First Lady of the Republic of Burundi, Her Excellency Angeline Nayadisha Marie. Madam.
Excellence, Madame Melania Trump, Première Dame des États-Unis d'Amérique, Excellence, chères sœurs, Première Dame, Mesdames et Messieurs, tout protocole observé, bonjour. C'est avec une grande joie de parler avec vous du rôle que joue la technologie, l'éducation, l'intelligence artificielle et la littératie numérique dans la formation de l'avenir de nos pays. Alors que nous naviguons dans les complexités de notre monde,
we're living in the complexity of our world that is evolving. It's important to recognize the transforming power of digital tools. In addition, including artificial intelligence in education can be of great benefit. It can customize learning by adapting to the individual needs of students. It can also help teachers follow progress of students and integrate teaching methods based on scientific research. However, with the advances and our responsibilities, while we promote digital literacy, we must also prioritize security and protection. It's important for our students not only learn how to use technology, but also understand the importance of navigating digital spaces in a responsible and safe way. By investing in digital tools and including artificial intelligence and encouraging curiosities and promoting security, we can cultivate future generations of learners, not only to acquire knowledge, but also to innovate, research, and create solutions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam. It's now my pleasure to invite to deliver remarks the First Lady of the Republic of Serbia, Her Excellency Tamara Vučić. Madam.
Thank you very much. Distinguished First Ladies and Gentlemen, at the outset, I would like to extend my deep respects and support to Madame Trump by following her instinct, and we women certainly do have it, giving the form and the contents to her vision and for gathering us here. We are writing history today. Ladies and gentlemen, we live in two worlds, digital and real one, offline and online, and we can neither ignore nor ban them. The Republic of Serbia is guided by the fact that well-being in digital environment, just like in the real life, is a path for personal development which requires education, not only limitations. Therefore, instead of short-time prohibitory measures, we promote the digital immunity. Our objective is not to isolate children, but to make them stronger in order to recognize the danger. Serbia has introduced computer programming to all elementary schools and a subject called the digital world, starting from the first grade. The fundamentals of understanding artificial intelligence have become part of the curriculum in elementary and secondary schools, and according to UNESCO data, we are one of only 11 countries in the world that successfully implemented this. What we are especially proud of is that the digital transformation in education has been accompanied by improvements in the system for child protection. The National Contact Center for Children's Safety on the Internet, Smart and Safe, has been established as a system of direct support for children, parents, and teachers. This is the first and so far the only institutional mechanism in the region that addresses the prevention and response to threats against children in the digital environment. Ladies and gentlemen, Serbia is today the chair of the Global Partnership on Artificial Intelligence and proudly becoming the member of the Fostering the Future Together Global Coalition. To conclude, technology is neither good nor bad. Technology, in my opinion, is our test of humanity. This coalition gives us strength and the framework to successfully pass this test. Serbia stands with you, with this coalition, to the benefit of all our children. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam.
Merci.
Well, this morning we do have a few gentlemen with us today, and now I am delighted to welcome to deliver remarks the first gentleman of the Republic of Slovenia, His Excellency Aleš Musar.
Spoštovana prva dama ZDA, distinguished First Lady of the United States, dear colleagues and friends. When a high school professor of chemistry requested that all of us should, by the end of the month, have calculators, it was met with astonishment and even outcry among some of our parents. For centuries, everyone made calculations by hand. Why should we change this venerable practice? It will leave more time for chemistry, argued my professor. Your children will get better education. This little episode happened in 1980. Since then, we have witnessed and experienced many technological advances, changing our teaching methods and educational systems. Word processors, spreadsheets, presentation tools, online databases, and of course, ready availability of any information you can imagine on the internet, anywhere, anytime, with mobile devices. The changes are not embraced immediately. We have seen the pattern of first ignoring, then resisting, and finally incorporating new technology in our curricula and teaching by solving an eternal dilemma: how to convert something that is seen as a tool for cheating into an educational tool. We are struggling with that in Slovenia. With plenty of great private initiatives, curriculum is lagging behind, and I hope this coalition will help us embrace change faster, because we are now on the brink of the most profound change we have ever seen. Artificial intelligence brings into education both amazing opportunities and significant challenges. I am thankful to the First Lady of the United States to show the leadership in bringing the first spouses of the world together with the intent to wield whatever soft power we have for ensuring a better future for our children. Sharing best practices and educational tools based on artificial intelligence and fostering their availability to all children is a worthy cause. I believe it is equally important and a truly visionary proposal to establish a think tank, which I see as a long-term forum for discussing, examining, and resolving ethical dilemmas and risks of the impact of artificial intelligence on children, and which I would be ready to join. In fact, introduction of AI, not only in education, but in all spheres of human activity, is a challenge for humanity as a whole. Autonomous AI systems may radically change our societies, we are being warned. How can we ensure that human ethics is built into AI? Will it reach a point of singularity? Humanity has solved these dilemmas more or less successfully many times in the past, in science fiction books and movies. Now we have to do it for real. We only have one shot. We better get it right. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I am now very pleased to welcome the First Lady of Ukraine, Her Excellency Mrs. Olena Zelenska.
Thank you so much. Dear distinguished guests, dear colleagues, I'm honored to join the Fostering the Future Together coalition, and of course I want to thank the First Lady Melania Trump for this important initiative. Today the world is becoming increasingly unstable, and in these conditions every country is searching for the answer on a question how to preserve resilience while continuing to develop. And Ukraine already has this answer. It would be no exaggeration to say that besides the resilience of our people, it is precisely digital systems that help Ukraine remain functioning state even during a war. Since 2019, we've been developing a state in smartphone model, a model in which key public services become accessible anywhere through a simple digital interface. This is realized through DIA, not just an app, but fast, clear state-people interaction. Because technology is not only about convenience, it is about the state's ability to function. And while digitalization ensures nations' resilience, education determines its future. For us, this is the matter of principle. No child and no adult should lose access to education regardless of the circumstances. That is why we are building a comprehensive digital education ecosystem. An important part of it is DIA Education. This is a national edutainment platform that combines learning and practice with a focus on skills needed in a modern world. That platform offers hundreds of educational products, short video courses, real-life job stimulators, interactive modules, and certification programs. On the DIA Education platform, a dedicated section is about online safety and cyber hygiene. The content is adapted to different ages and different levels of proficiency. We view cyber hygiene as a new basic skill. Just as humanity once learned to take care of physical hygiene, and it is not a one-time action, but daily practice that builds resilience and helps prevent most common threats. At the same time, we are developing solutions for school education. At the initiative of the President of Ukraine, MRIA was launched, a unified digital education ecosystem for students, parents, and educators. MRIA brings together all key elements of the learning process, from educational materials and schedules to communication and assessment. For students, it offers the opportunity to learn in a convenient format, track their own progress. For parents, it provides visibility into their child's learning progress and enables them to stay engaged in the process. For teachers, it allows for better planning and reducing administrative workload, but most importantly, it represents a shift in approach. Education is no longer one size fits all. It is gradually becoming flexible and capable of adapting the needs of each child. Nearly 3,000 schools from all regions of Ukraine are already connected to MRIA, every fourth educational institution in the country. This year we plan to connect around 7,000 educational institutions and increase the number of users to 1.5 million. In 2026, the pilot of MRIA preschool will begin in 6 regions of Ukraine. So we adapted that platform to the needs of the youngest users and make the system truly continuous from the kindergarten to school. And we are already looking forward. In 2025, Ukraine launched a National Center for Artificial Intelligence Development, the Win-Win AI Center of Excellence, which is working on integrating AI into key sectors of the state, including education. Ukraine commits to further investment in digital infrastructure, education technologies, and AI-enabled learning to prepare the next generation to thrive in a digital age. That is why we are joining Mrs. Trump's initiative. We see this initiative as an important step toward elevating the issue of child development and education to the global level and bringing countries together around a shared responsibility. Ukraine is your reliable partner in it. Thank you once more.
Thank you very much, Madam. Now I am delighted to welcome the partner of the President of the Republic of Romania, Mrs. Mirabela Gradinaru, for some remarks.
Thank you. Dear First Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed participants, first of all, I want to extend my gratitude to our gracious host, First Lady of the United States, Mrs. Melania Trump. I believe that this initiative is a very valuable one, generating momentum, visibility, and much-needed dynamism in this field. At the same time, it is crucial that we are having an integrated approach, better linking education, innovation, and technology. I look forward to start working closely with First Lady Melania Trump and everybody around this table within the framework of this project for developing concrete initiatives and achieving tangible impact in advancing digital education, safe online practices, and media literacy for children worldwide. I will not take up much of your time today, as we will be sharing our more in-depth views tomorrow. Before I finish, I want to introduce the two Romanian experts I brought with me. Andrada Morar is the Vice President of UiPath for Customer Experience and Global Partners. UiPath is Romania's first unicorn company, and it is a leading robotic process automation, RPA platform, designed to automate repetitive, time-consuming tasks by creating software robots. And Robert Beza is the Executive Director of Edge Institute Romania, a very active think tank dedicated to accelerating our country's digital transformation. Robert and his team bring together experts from business, technology, and academia to propose public policies and strategies aimed at boosting Romania's economic and digital competitiveness through the right approach, especially on education. Thank you, and I am looking forward for the insightful discussions today.
Thank you very much, Madam. Now I'd like to invite the First Lady of the Republic of Estonia, Mrs. Sirje Karas.
Good morning, dear colleagues, friends. Thank you for the opportunity to join you for this high-level meeting. I am
Maybe
you can. No. Okay. I got very.
Yes, now we can hear you.
I got very good friend here. Thank you. I am grateful that Estonia's experience can be shared in this coalition. Launched under the leadership of the First Lady of the United States, this format is important because it creates space to talk about children's well-being while balancing innovation with responsibility. Education shapes a person's life and well-being more than anything else. It influences future opportunities, health, and a sense of belongings. That is why quality education matters so deeply to every society. Today, education is increasingly digital. My country, Estonia, underwent a major societal digital transformation in the mid-1990s, known as a Tiger Leap. This created a strong foundation for the leap we are now making, the AI leap. From Estonians' perspective, AI in education is an issue we must address now. Artificial intelligence is already part of our children's everyday reality, so we have chosen to guide these developments rather than simply react to them. That is the purpose of Estonians' AI Leap in education. It is a national program that helps schools use AI to improve learning, support teachers, and keep students safe. It combines an educationally adapted learning tool with teacher training, and it is backed by research. So, decisions are grounded in evidence. Teacher support is essential. With teachers' guidance, students can become responsible AI users who learn with these tools, rather than relying on them for quick answers. We also take risks seriously. Harmful content, deepfakes, data protection, and the impact on mental well-being. That is why we focus on safety by design, clear rules, and careful evaluation, so we learn what truly benefits children and what does not. This brings me to a wider point. The choices we make in education and technology connect naturally to children's rights and to emerging frameworks for AI governance. We want to build a bridge between classroom practice and these global principles, and we will use every international forum available to strengthen the protection of children in the digital world. This includes our current roles as a member of the United Nations Human Rights Council and as a co-chair, together with El Salvador, of the United Nations Global Dialogue on AI governance. In 2026, Estonia is also honored to serve as a chair of the Executive Board of UNICEF. We aim to convene a special session of the Executive Board on innovation in education. We wish to raise awareness of the opportunities that technology offers to make education more accessible for children, as well as the need to ensure these technologies are safe and secure. Thank you for your commitment to children, to learning, and to a safe future in the digital age. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam. Now I'd like to invite the First Lady of the Republic of Costa Rica, Her Excellency Signe Zaitekete.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Signe Zaitekete. First Lady Melania Trump, Excellencies and fellow First Spouses. Thank you for bringing us together, and thank you also for coming together. This coalition matters. It matters because the digital world is no longer a separate place where our children go. As the First Lady of Estonia mentioned, it is the environment in which our children live. Environment that shapes their minds every day and in real time. Artificial intelligence is already in their phones, it is in their homework, It is in the very question they ask about the world. As we gather here today for the initiative Fostering Future Together, the question before us is simple yet profound. Will we guide them, or will we leave them to navigate this frontier alone? In Costa Rica, we chose to act early. In 2024, we launched our National Artificial Intelligence Strategy, and this is the first of its kind in Central America. From the very beginning, we made one decision clear. Children come first. And this is not a technical issue for us. It is a public responsibility. We are building our artificial intelligence with ethics, with safeguards, and with a human-centered purpose. And we are already seeing the results. Today, over half of our teachers using artificial intelligence to support students with special needs or spark innovation, and this is a rate well above the OECD average. To ensure that our teachers are never left behind, we also created one of the world's first national artificial intelligence guide for educators. This guide ensures that technology serves as a partner that automates routine tasks, giving our teachers back time they need for what matters. And this is socio-emotional support of our students. We are also providing that innovation has no borders. In Costa Rica, internet access is a constitutional right. And we have reduced the digital divide in vulnerable communities by 22 percentage points. Through our Hummingbird project, we are bringing artificial intelligence-driven literacy to our most remote one-teacher schools in the mountains and coasts, ensuring that a child's zip code never defines their digital destiny. But let us be clear. Access without safety is not progress, it is exposure. When technology arrives before guidance, we see confusion and misuse. That is why we are strengthening our laws against digital grooming and bolstering cybersecurity. Innovation must never come at the cost of child's dignity and security. Excellencies, this coalition gives us a rare opportunity to move from isolated efforts to shared global principles. And we must shape it together with intention and with the belief that every child, everywhere, deserves a future where technology expands their potential without ever diminishing their humanity. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Madam. For our final speaker on artificial intelligence in education, I would like to invite the First Lady of Georgia, Ms. Tamar Bagratoni, please.
Distinguished First Ladies, honorable guests. First, I would like to convey my heartfelt thanks to our host, Mrs. Melania Trump. The history will remember her, who brought around 45 nations together and turned a mother instinct into a global movement. I represent the nation with a history stretching 3,000 years. Georgia, a country was once ruled by Queen Tamar, the first ever woman royalty referred to as a king, who believed that the leader's greatest is measured measured by how they protect the most in needs. Today, we are united by one shared responsibility, the well-being and future of our children. I am fully committed to this as a First Lady, but first and foremost, I speak as a mother of four, one who understands personally the context representatively of protecting a child's well-being. Every parent who knows the quiet tension we carry, the will to protect our children from harm, at the same time allowing them the freedom to grow, to explore, and the benefit from the opportunities of the rapidly advanced world. This balance is not simple. It is a daily struggle, silent, invisible, but very real, shared across families everywhere. We cannot choose between safety and development. Our responsibility is to ensure both. This is why thoughtful solution matters so deeply. Solution that allows our children not only to strive and to innovate, but also remain open, curious, and connected, free to play and engage and step into the future with confidence. In Georgia, we're undertaking important steps towards comprehensive digital transformation. Our nation approach is guided by the principle of the middle way, a framework that seeks to balance technological innovation with the protection of human dignity, fundamental rights, and above all, children's safety. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Madam, and thanks to all of you for a very interesting and very important initial conversation on AI in education. I would now like to welcome the U.S. Secretary of Education, Linda McMahon, to introduce our second topic.
Good morning, everyone. It's indeed a pleasure to be here with you. Thank you, Ambassador, for having me this morning. And I'd certainly like to thank our remarkable First Lady for assembling this talented group of first spouses, policymakers, and industry leaders to discuss how we can harness AI to enhance education and equip students with the digital fluency today's jobs require. And just to step aside for 1 second from my prepared comments, I would just like to say how impressed I am with all of the comments that I have heard so far this morning. The sharing of the thoughts of mothers, of leaders of countries who bring their passion for not only their own children, but the children of their countries. So I welcome those remarks. I am so grateful to hear this and for all of us to understand that there is no one-size-fits-all, and that as we all are in our respective countries and communities and industries, thank you all for this devotion and commitment to not only embracing AI, but to also understanding its use as a tool, but that it must have guardrails so that our children are protected and can benefit from the greatest aspect of embracing this technology. So thank you for that. Artificial intelligence is a technological leap on par with the invention of the printing press and the rise of the internet. It is no longer just a transformative technology, but a foundational one that is already shaping the world around us. In education especially, it can serve as a powerful equalizer, opening doors of opportunity for students and expanding access to quality learning. And I've seen this firsthand in my 50-state tour while visiting the Alpha School in Austin, Texas, where each student has an individual AI tutor for the first 2 hours of the day that can identify their individual needs and help remediate their lagging learning spots. The genius of the Alpha School is how an AI-supported, customized learning path is guided by a teacher to personalize support for each student, to help students explore their life goals and to teach them the skills necessary to achieve them. As a result, their students are mastering material at a pace over 2 times faster than national benchmarks. Seeing models like this of success around the country demonstrates why the responsible integration of AI in our classrooms has been a top priority of mine as the Secretary of Education. We have already dedicated millions of dollars in grants to support projects that use AI to bolster student access and success, and we are proud to support the First Lady's Presidential AI Challenge, which has inspired citizens to submit AI proposals and technologies that solve problems in their communities. But this is only the beginning. Under the First Lady's leadership, today's discussions will help us envision a set of best practices for AI in education worldwide. Together, we can show how proper use of Edtech tools, including digital assessment programs, immersive simulations, and adaptive learning systems, can be an enhancement to, not as a replacement for, human-centered classroom instruction, while simultaneously equipping students with the digital literacy they will need throughout their lives. And if we're able to scale these resources effectively by investing in AI infrastructure and training, we can offer expert instruction across countless fields to higher volumes of people at a fraction of the cost. I'm looking forward to learning from you all today and seeing how locally led innovation and national ingenuity can come together to forge a brighter future for our students and ensure that they are prepared to thrive in an economy that still depends on capable and skilled people. And thank you once more to our amazing First Lady and to President Trump for his visionary leadership. And I look forward to listening and hearing to all of you a little bit later in our discussions. Thank you so much for having me and for sharing with me what you are doing already in your countries and for the incredible opportunity and responsibility that we all have before us. Thank you so very, very much.
Madam Secretary, thank you so much for that. And now we're going to open the floor and begin our discussion on educational tools in technology. First, I would like to invite the First Lady of the Republic of Albania, Ms. Armanda Begaj.
Thank you. First of all, I want to thank First Lady of the United States for welcoming us and for these grateful initiatives. Dear First Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished participants, the launch of Fostering Future Together Global Coalition is both timely and necessary, as the rapid advances in digitalizations and AI are transforming the way we learn, work, and live. Investing in children's education, as highlighted by Mrs. Melania Trump, is essential to build lasting peace. For Albania, ensuring that every child is equipped with digital skills is a national priority. Through the Digital Education Action Plan, we are strengthening connectivity, improving the digital infrastructure, investing in teacher training and modern learning methods. We are also focusing in early education. Our goal is not only for child to use digital tools, but to understand, shape, and lead in AI world. We are encourage the young the children since first of grade to develop problem solving and coding skills. Through the programs that support those learning, we are looking forward to have good, that children have good skills in the future. We also are placing a strong emphasis in online safety. Of course, change remains, particularly in bridging gaps between rural and urban areas. And in this regard, we strongly support the objective of coalitions, especially its effort to make advancing technology accessible to children, educators, and families. Albania is looking forward to work all together in this new world, AI age. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam. Now I'd like to invite the spouse of the Prime Minister of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, Her Excellency Zubaida Rahman.
Thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Madam First Lady of the United States, Mrs. Melania Trump, distinguished first spouses, excellencies, industry leaders, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to you all. It is a great honor to join you all today at the historic Fostering the Future Together Global Coalition Summit. I sincerely thank the First Lady for bringing us together from across the world for a cause that touches every nation, the promise and potential of our children. We recognize that the future of every country is written in the lives of its children. The care we provide today, the education we invest in, and the values we nurture will shape the nations they build tomorrow. I come here at an important moment for my country, under the leadership of my husband, Tariq Rahman, the Prime Minister of Bangladesh. Our recently elected democratic government has taken office with an overwhelming mandate to build a more inclusive and forward-looking nation. Our government has already launched initiatives such as the Family Card and Farmers Card, providing financial benefits that strengthen households and also ensure children grow in secure, nurturing environments. As a medical doctor, I'm deeply committed to ensuring accessible, quality health care for every child, focusing not only on treatment, but on prevention from the earliest stages of life. My work with the Ziaur Rahman Foundation and Shurobhi has further strengthened my dedication to advancing education, youth development, and community well-being. We believe that responsible use of artificial intelligence can transform education, especially in countries like Bangladesh, where access to trained teachers and resources remain uneven. Our government is equipping both teachers and students with the tools they need to thrive in a digital age. Our government is providing teachers with tablet computers, updating teaching materials, digital curricula, and innovative methods. Classrooms are evolving to include multimedia contents, encouraging teamwork, creativity, and moral development. Technology, particularly Edtech, plays a central role in reducing disparities between urban and rural communities. At the same time, we are committed to ensuring the safe and ethical use of these tools so that children grow in secure and supportive environments. Bangladesh has a strong legacy in empowering women. Former Prime Minister Begum Khaleda Zia advanced women's rights and introduced free education for girls up to grade 12. Our government is committed to ensuring free education for women up to postgraduate levels. Shahid President Ziaur Rahman laid the foundation of the garment industry, creating opportunities for millions of women. These efforts demonstrate that when women are empowered, families are strengthened and children prosper. We also recognize the importance of partnerships. By working with the private sector and our global partners, we aim to expand safe digital spaces, train teachers, empower parents, and improve the quality of education for all. With strong technological cooperation, we seek to connect every region, protect every child, and personalize every learning journey. Together, we can raise a generation that is resilient, compassionate, and prepared for the future. In closing, I express my heartfelt gratitude to the Madam First Lady of the United States. By sharing knowledge, learning from one another, and collaborating across borders, we strengthen not only our nations, but the future of our children and the world they will inherit. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Madam. Now I am very pleased to invite to deliver remarks the First Lady of the Republic of Cabo Verde, Her Excellency Deborah Katisa Cavarlo.
Thank you. Your Excellency, First Lady of the United States, distinguished First Ladies, my sisters, as I like to call you, Excellencies, distinguished participants. As a Cape Verdean, I'm truly honored by the invitation to be part of this global initiative. While our countries reflect diverse realities, we are united today here by a common purpose, placing children at the center of digital future. And now you can Googleize it. Cabo Verde is a nation, for those that don't know yet Cabo Verde. It's a nation of 10 islands in the Atlantic Ocean. We are 99% ocean, deeply rooted in youth. For you to know, 70% of Cape Verdean people has less than 35 years. So our youth are supported by a vast diaspora, and United States hosts the largest Cape Verdean community outside our islands. Today, technology connects what the ocean once separated. And our future is blue, digital, and profoundly dependent on the investment we make in our children. We are investing in digital transformation through secure and vast international connectivity infrastructure, growing smartphone penetration, digital public spaces, very well known by children, and tech parks, over 40 web labs in secondary schools. We are progressively integrating technology into education through computer labs and strengthening digital literacy in programming, robotics, multimedia, and IT maintenance. As a First Lady, I have actively contributed to reducing digital inequality by supporting access to device and connectivity for children and adolescents that are in vulnerable social and economic situation. It is in this context that we see artificial intelligence as a gateway to at least three things: inclusion. And when I talk about inclusion, I remember Stephen Hawking. I know everybody knows who was Stephen Hawking. And I remember kids with special needs. Imagine all the kids with special needs with the access he had. All of them could give to the world, not only to a country, but to the world, the best potential they have. And about equity, I'm thinking about the presence of girls and women in IT world. We are underrepresented in this world. So we must prepare equipping our young people to thrive in a global world where their talents can flourish. However, Excellencies, there are at least two fundamental pillars that must guide and safeguard this gateway: family and school. School do more than teach. They educate, they influence and shape character. Teachers are role models and must guide the use of technology. Behind encouraging its use, they must teach how to use it critically and responsibly. Families, too, face challenges. Often, children are more technological skilled than their parents. Parents must therefore be supported, empowered, and engaged to ensure consistent guidance and oversight. In past, danger was in the street. At my time, when I was a kid, the danger was at the street. But today, it may be inside the home, just one click away. An integrated approach is essential. Includes digital education, stronger online protection, and greater accountability of technology platforms. Because every child matters, and no country can face the challenges of the digital age alone. We are committed to working with all of you to ensure that our children become not only digital creators, but also peacemakers, building bridge of dialogue, building bridge of understanding, and bridge of empathy across the world. AI for all. Thank you all.
Thank you, Madam. Now I would like to invite the First Lady of the Dominican Republic, Mrs. Raquel Abarria.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. As I said before at the beginning, do you hear me? We are all a great big family working together. So please allow me to speak in Spanish, which is my, if you would like to be so kind, it's Channel 9 in Spanish. Permítame iniciar saludando en nombre de la República Dominicana.
Commending on behalf of the Dominican Republic in my own name the very valuable work and initiative of First Lady Melania Trump to convene this First Ladies to participate in this global coalition building the future together with a aim of promoting all of our children through education. Today we are facing a combined challenge. In the Dominican Republic, we have taken on this challenge as an opportunity to transform our educational system. In recent years, we have moved from a system based on memory and memorization to one that is based on skills, that focuses on know-how. We are seeking to create students who are capable of critical thinking, to resolve issues and problems, that is to say, problem-solving oriented, in a world that is changing every day.
Do us, leaders and parents, teachers, la tecnología juega un papel fundamental en este proceso.
Technology plays a key role in this process. Today, it is an ongoing aspect, and it is part of everything that we are doing. It is cross-cutting in this regard, and we are training our teachers. We need to train our teachers, ensuring that technology is a teaching tool that is, in its essence, effective. As part of our efforts, we have created programs that are focused on understanding ITCs and the 21st century. One example is our educational robotics program, in which over 800,000 students have participated, strengthening capabilities in STEM specifically through different competencies. Today, we understand that English is the language of technology, and as such, we've created the program English for a Better Life, which currently serves 82,000 secondary school students. Similarly, we are encouraging programs of inclusion and innovation that expand access to quality education through the use of technology. Lastly, let me highlight the responsible and safe use of digital tools backed by policies in data protection and cybersecurity. The Dominican Republic reaffirms its commitment to not fall behind, and specifically to not leave behind future generations. Through our 2030 digital agenda, we are working to create future citizens that are capable, responsible, and that they understand what the responsible use of technology and AI means. Thank you to Melania Trump, distinguished First Ladies and gentlemen, everyone. I am confident, fully confident, that this coalition will foster new and improved best practices for all of our boys, girls, and adolescents. Thank you.
Muchas gracias, Madam. Now I would like to invite the First Lady of the Republic of Guatemala, Her Excellency Lucrecia Eugenia Penado Villanueva.
Thank you for the opportunity, Your Excellencies. Mrs. Melania Trump, First Lady of the United States, and all other spouses of heads of state and distinguished guests. For Guatemala, it is an honor to participate in this initiative, Fostering the Future Together, and reaffirm of our compromise to a shared goal of protection and innovation, as well as education for children. I will also invite you, as we are in the American continent, to please use the adequate channel to listen to the rest of my participation in Spanish. For Guatemala,
managing the digital transformation is a strategic priority in public policy is one of our priorities. And it is not only a priority, a technological priority, rather it is a priority that is deeply centered on people, on their dignity, and on their rights. Our goal in our country is to train students, teachers, their family, and our communities in general using direct information that is critical, creative, and responsible so that we are ready to face the new era of this new wave of technology. We have a national strategy that consists of 4 pillars. First of all, there is a component of inclusion and cultural belonging, as there are 17 million people in our country, and half of our people live in indigenous communities, mainly of Mayan origin, as well as Garifuna or Afro-Guatemalan and Xinca. We have 22 languages that are spoken in the country, different from Spanish, with 7 to 9 of them being the predominant languages. Therefore, as a multicultural country, we are developing digital content and educational models that reflect our cultural diversity and our linguistic diversity for both teachers and students, so that they are able to use digital tools effectively. We seek to constantly respect our linguistic diversity and the local context in which these digital tools are to be implemented. For quite some time now, we have had intercultural bilingual educational programs. What do I mean when I say bilingual? I mean that Spanish may not be the mother tongue of the majority or a good part of our population. Therefore, the new revolution of artificial intelligence and this new phase in the digital era needs to include training in the languages that I mentioned, Maya, Garifuna, and Xinca, whereas digital tools may allow these students and teachers to learn and teach in their own languages and in their own cultural contexts. In addition, we have digital literacy and increased access to digital tools. We are creating capacities in our entire educational system to ensure that students and teachers are able to use digital tools effectively. When it comes to artificial intelligence in education, we are also working on including it responsibly to promote personalized education and decision-making that is based on data and guided by UNESCO principles that ensure an ethical, person-centered focus and centered on people's rights. Next, we have online security. We believe faithfully, and we act on this belief, that innovation must occur in safe spaces for our children, our young people, our adolescents. In a country where half of our population is under 22 years of age, this is obviously critical. Guatemala then is implementing actions at the national level that are coordinated to prevent digital risks. These include strategies led by our Office Against Sexual Violence, Exploitation, and Human Trafficking. We also recognize that this challenge evolves quickly. There are new threats, such as damaging content generated by AI itself, by other encrypted platforms, and transnational exploitation networks. Therefore, we need more coordination at the institutional level. We need to be better able to investigate digital crimes, and we need a more integrated response at the national level. We are committed to that, and that is what we are currently doing. So we strengthen existing platforms to manage prevention and response to these threats. There are digital complaint mechanisms, prevention campaigns, and coordination mechanisms at the interinstitutional level that bring together education, security, and child protection. In closing, I would like to say that for Guatemala, this new digital transformation wave is a means. I'll repeat, it is a means to one of our largest ends, which is to reduce structural inequalities that for decades have held half of our population in levels of poverty and extreme poverty. So we have specific targeted actions so that inequalities do not increase, but rather are reduced during this new era, so that we may expand opportunities, strengthen our human capital, and contribute as well to holistic development. We are therefore committed to this group of leaders who are here today and those who may not be here today as well, so that we may advance and move from fragmented approaches to preventive holistic strategies that are coordinated with all of you and all leaders from different sectors, because education, protection, and innovation must move forward together and ethically, focused on the protection of people. Finally, we would like to reiterate our desire to work with international partners to make sure that technology is a tool of equity, inclusion, sustainable development, and especially that it may protect and empower all children. Thank you very much.
Muchas gracias, Madam. Now I would like to invite the First Lady of the Republic of Lithuania, Her Excellency Diana Nausėdienė.
Participants of this historic event. We are all living in an era when artificial intelligence expands in all areas of our human life, and it's even catching up with its creator. Timely beginning of a discussion on what the development of AI means for our future is crucial. We must speak about both great opportunities ahead and the potential dangers. This makes it essential to listen to academic analysis, scientific forecasts, and experiences of different countries. It's very important that the First Lady of the United States of America, Melania Trump, proactively leads and has launched a significant global initiative. Lithuania supports the look at the development of AI through the lens of children as the most sensitive group in society. And I am delighted to greet all far-sighted supporters of this mission, the insightful spouses of world leaders. We are here today from all over the world, united by a shared commitment to ensure that modern technologies serve for the well-being of our children and peaceful future. Ladies and gentlemen, there is enormous potential for progress. By applying technology wisely, we can ensure that quality education is accessible to everyone, regardless of special needs, place of residence, or social status. Artificial intelligence is a tool that can empower personalized education, a guarantee that education serves as a social, cultural, and intellectual elevator for every child. Lithuania is open to cooperation in developing the Edtech tools of tomorrow. Our businesses have already created solutions for the personalized learning revolution, which enables the identification of knowledge gaps and the creation of personalized learning paths for every student. Teachers can now design customized lessons in just a few minutes, adapted to students' diverse abilities. I am proud to say that Lithuania is a leader in the European Union in terms of AI access and deeper AI usage within society. In terms of per capita investment in AI innovation, Lithuania is set in Europe. We have already done important homework in the area of infrastructure necessary for AI. Lithuania has a strategic advantage exceptionally fast-growing capacities of domestically generated electricity using low-cost resources, while the small modular reactors are our near future. An established national data lake, pending new AI factory, ranking in the top 6 globally in cybersecurity. These are just a few examples of our technological achievements. This path is backed by a wisely managed macroeconomic policy. Since the year 2019, Lithuania did not suffer any GDP contraction and demonstrates further robust growth. The next step is greater investment in AI and digital skills, both in education and the economy. We aim to give every child the opportunity to try their hand at engineering and digital technology. We have 10 regional STEAM centers, developing engineering high schools and fostering robotics. Also, the reality is changing. Teachers remains at the heart of educational system. Humanity will have no future if our educators will teach only technology. We need to install humanistic and ethical values in them. And we, the international community, will be united in seeking to introduce high ethical norms, universal standards, respective safeguards across the globe. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to once again express gratitude to the First Lady of the United States, Melania Trump, for the strength of this substantial initiative. There is no doubt that the global coalition timely initiated and help us protect our children and properly meet the challenges of the future. I can assure you, Lithuania will be an active and socially responsible participant in the global coalition. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam. Now I am pleased to introduce the First Lady of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis to deliver remarks, Mrs. Diani Prince-Drew.
Excellencies, when we speak about the future of our children, we are really speaking about the world we are preparing them to step into, one that is rapidly changing, shaped by technology, innovation, and new ways of learning. It is our shared responsibility as leaders, parents, and advocates to ensure that our children are not only protected and supported, but are also equipped to thrive in the world. This is an important and timely conversation, and I wish to thank First Lady Melania Trump for bringing us together to have it. I bring greetings from the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, a small island nation in the Caribbean, but one with a steadfast belief that our size must never limit our ambition, especially when it comes to the development and protection of our children. In St. Kitts and Nevis, we understand that the future of our children, our children will inherit will be shaped by technology. For this reason, our government has made deliberate investments to ensure that our young people are not just consumers of technology, but creators, innovators, and responsible digital citizens. One of our most transformative initiatives in this regard has been the reintroduction of our one-to-one laptop program, which ensures that students across our education system have access to personal digital learning devices. The COVID-19 pandemic served as a global wake-up call, It revealed just how essential digital infrastructure and educational technology had become to the continuity of learning. In response, St. Kitts and Nevis accelerated investments in our digital education framework, strengthening connectivity, equipping classrooms with modern tools, and expanding access to technology for students and teachers alike. Today, thousands of students across our federation benefit from digital devices that support interactive learning, online collaboration, and access to educational resources far beyond the walls of the classroom. Alongside these national efforts, civil society also has an important role to play. Through my nonprofit foundation, the Joy Project, we work to support children and families across our federation by responding in practical ways to needs within our communities. As part of this work, we have sought to assist children who may not otherwise have access to tools needed to fully participate in today's learning environment, including through the donation of laptops to support their educational and technological growth. However, access alone is not enough. We have complemented these efforts with a range of initiatives designed to ensure that technology is used safely, responsibly, and effectively. Across our communities, internet connectivity has been expanded through community centers, providing young people with safe spaces to access online educational resources. At the same time, digital literacy programs are equipping students, parents, and teachers with the skills needed to navigate the digital landscape with confidence. Importantly, we are also placing strong emphasis on online safety and digital protection, ensuring that our children engage responsibly online, recognize risks, and protect themselves in digital spaces. For us, educational technology is not simply about devices in classrooms. It is a gateway. It opens doors to deeper engagement with the fields that will define the future, including coding, data science, artificial intelligence, and robotics. In St. Kitts and Nevis, this journey has already begun to bear fruit. Inspired by a growing interest in technology among our youth, a group of young innovators established the St. Kitts and Nevis Robotics Association, which is now playing a meaningful role in advancing technological innovation within our federation. Today, that same association is leading the development of a major national initiative, the National Digital Health Information System. This project aims to modernize healthcare data management through secure digital platforms that will integrate electronic health records, laboratory systems, pharmacies, and diagnostic imaging, enabling real-time access to patient information and improved health planning across our country. What makes this achievement especially powerful is that it reflects a simple truth. When young people are given the tools, the training, and the trust to innovate, they do not merely participate in national development, they help to lead it. Excellencies, colleagues, St. Kitts and Nevis may be a small nation, but our commitment to our children is vast. By investing in educational technology, strengthening digital literacy, and promoting online safety, we are preparing our young people not only to participate in the future, but also empowering them to shape it. Because when children are equipped with knowledge, guided by strong values, and supported by visionary and thoughtful leadership, even the smallest nation can help to build a brighter global future for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam. And for our final speaker on this topic of education technology or Edtech tools, I would like to invite the First Lady of Equatorial Guinea, Her Excellency Constancia Mangue de Obiang.
Melania Trump, Primera Dama de los Estados Unidos.
First Lady of the United States, ladies and gentlemen, it is for me an honor to participate in this summit on fostering the future together. And I would like to firstly thank Her Excellency Melania Trump, First Lady of the United States, for promoting this initiative and for bringing us here together to share our perspectives on a common challenge, that is ensuring that our children grow up in an environment that is capable of grappling with the challenges of the 21st century. We believe that AI can indeed become a strategic tool in improving the quality of education in our nation, as well as reinforcing existing programs through the integration of new intelligent platforms so that students can access content and foster their learning, the pace of such learning, and to do so in a responsible and socio-cultural appropriate fashion. Equatorial Guinea is committed to the use of these new tools in education. We are convinced that working together, we can build a better future so that our children can enjoy the tools needed to learn, grow, and contribute to the development of our societies and an increasingly better world. Let me conclude by noting that our children are our future. All scientific and theological ideas have come to fruition as children have grown and become adults. This progress and process will continue and will certainly benefit current and all future generations. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam, and thanks to all of you for that very important and interesting conversation about education technology. Now I'm very pleased to welcome my friend and colleague, Deputy Secretary of State Christopher Landau, to introduce our third subject.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Monica, and I want to thank our First Lady for organizing this. It's amazing to see this incredible group of delegations here. Welcome to all of you. Bienvenidas, bienvenue, bem-vindas. That's all the languages I have for the moment. Thank you. De nada. This is very exciting, you know, and I'm very happy to have my own wife here, Caroline. Thank you for being here. And our daughter Julia was born on January 10th, 2007, which was a very important week, obviously, for our family, but also for the world, because on January 9th, 2007, the iPhone was announced. So for our daughter's entire life, she has had an iPhone very near to her. We didn't let her actually have an iPhone until she was 12, but believe me, for many years before that, she was already complaining that all the other kids in her class had the iPhone. And as a parent, I'm sure many of you have this experience, you can see what an incredibly powerful tool that is. I mean, we have never put in our children's hands this kind of power before, where they actually have access to all of human knowledge that you can get online. And frankly, that's for good and for ill. There are obviously amazing educational opportunities that come from being tied up to the digital world, but there are obviously some real challenges. So I am so delighted that we have the chance as leaders in our countries, but also as parents and friends to talk about these issues, because artificial intelligence is coming, and we need to understand the implications for that. It's coming to all our countries, the big countries, the little countries. These things don't stop at national borders. So I think this is a very important conversation to have. This particular panel is about what they call digital literacy, which I think it's important to emphasize goes far beyond just knowing basic computer skills. And let me tell you, if your family is anything like our family, the kids know a lot more about computer skills than the parents. I mean, they're the ones that tell us how to unlock our phones and do everything. So we are not teaching our kids are teaching us, in our family at least. But I think it is important for us as parents, as national leaders, to teach our youth and make sure they are aware of the need to critically evaluate information, because they're getting such a torrent of information coming at them. They need to be able to do some critical analysis to be able to understand not everything you see on the internet is true. Particularly now with AI, it is very easy to manipulate a photo or a video. In fact, it's really the only thing I know how to do on AI is to take a photograph and say, please add a flag behind me in the photograph. Or I just had a very nice photograph taken where we're all in black tie, but there was a car behind us. I said, please put us in front of a palace. And all of a sudden I had a photograph, the same photograph, we're standing in front of a palace. I mean, you can do lots of fun things, but that photograph is actually fake. It never existed. So I just think it's important for our children to understand the possibility for manipulation. And obviously, they have to be protected, know how to protect their data, make sure that they don't communicate with people who could be dangerous, so that these tools really fulfill their great potential. I mean, I think our job is to teach our young people to think independently, and really use these products, not just consume these products unthinkingly. So, you know, I think the First Lady's point is that digital literacy should supplement and supplant actual literacy, not, you know, should supplement it, but ultimately you still need actual literacy. I mean, nothing is going to ever replace that. And critical thinking and creativity, those are the hallmarks that I think we need to make sure our children don't lose as they get sucked into the world of these phones. As our First Lady said recently in a national address from the White House, choose to let your imagination drive your intellectual progress. Never use AI as a quick solution. Be intellectually honest with yourself. Use AI as a tool, but do not let it replace your personal intelligence. And actually, I read just something the other day that somebody was talking to a very accomplished college student from Stanford, and that student couldn't even finish sentences because he had gotten so used to working with AI that it was a little bit alarming. So again, this is happening in real time, and I think before turning the floor over to our distinguished guests, I want to say that the United States is committed to advancing digital literacy as a cornerstone of our diplomatic and development efforts, working with partners to share best practices and support teacher training. So we're very eager to hear what our distinguished guests have to say in this panel. And I wish, by the way, we could have everyone here. I see we have a number of people who have been slotted to speak. I wish we could have opened this up so that everybody could speak. These are really important issues. And I just want to thank both the speakers and those who are in the audience today for their attendance. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Secretary. For our first speaker on this topic, I would now like to call on the spouse of the Prime Minister of Belize, Her Excellency Rossana Briceño.
Excellencies, distinguished leaders, colleagues, and friends, allow me to begin by extending my sincere appreciation to the First Lady of the United States, Melania Trump, for convening this dialogue and for ensuring that the well-being of children remains at the center of our global priorities. Belize definitely supports this initiative. Across the world, we are witnessing an unprecedented transformation in how children learn, connect, and grow. In Belize, we strongly believe that investing in children's education and well-being is one of the most powerful ways to build resilient societies. For us, the question is not simply how technology can enhance education, but how it can empower and unlock every child's potential. With this vision in mind, the Ministry of Education, Culture, Science and Technology continues to advance efforts to integrate technology into classrooms, strengthen the digital skills of both teachers and students, and improve the quality of education nationwide. These efforts are guided by the Belize Education Sector Plan and are grounded in a national vision of making education work for Belize. Through investments in STEAM education, coding programs, robotics training, and digital learning platforms, Belize is taking deliberate steps to prepare young people for the vast opportunities and challenges of the digital age. Programs such as the Skills for the Future initiative, supported by the Inter-American Development Bank, have introduced digital learning platforms like Doodle Learning software, which currently supports more than 1,200 students in 32 schools, with additional students expected to join in this academic year. Likewise, through the FIFA Foundation Digital Education Program, approximately 200 teachers have been trained in computer science fundamentals, enabling them to introduce coding and computational thinking in the classroom. Last year, 25 primary schools integrated the Code.org curriculum through the Code Caribbean Computer Science program, allowing students from grades 4 through 8 to develop digital skills in coding and robotics. And because we recognize that connectivity is not simply a convenience, but a bridge to opportunity, ensuring equitable access to technology remains our national priority. With this, Belize has made significant progress in expanding digital connectivity within schools. Through the ministry's Connect ED program, high-speed internet has already been delivered to 75% of Belize's students and teachers, more than 66,000 students, and nearly 4,000 educators. For us, that goes a long way because it's only about almost 400,000 of us in Belize. This initiative will continue to expand, bringing 70 additional schools online and increasing the total number of connected schools to 283, ultimately reaching more than 87,000 students across the country. In 2024, the Ministry of Education launched the 501 Academy website, featuring digital resources and tools for teachers and students. This includes 3 AI chatbots, the 501 Teaching Assistant, the 501 Historian, and the Creole 501 Teaching Assistant. Creole is a dialect that we have in Belize. Instead of saying good morning, we will tell you good morning. So these were designed to integrate artificial intelligence into the classroom and enhance teaching and learning specifically for the Belizean context. Over the past 2 years, the ministry has also distributed over 7,000 Chromebooks to students across more than 165 primary and secondary schools, helping to bridge the digital divide and enabling students to access digital textbooks, learning portals, and educational resources. Beyond the classroom, Belize is also creating spaces where innovation and creativity can flourish. The ministry has launched 7 youth spaces across the country, transforming public spaces into innovation hubs where young people can experiment with technology, develop digital skills, and collaborate on new ideas. These spaces were intentionally designed to be inclusive, welcoming, and child-friendly environments that encourage creativity, curiosity, and lifelong learning. In February of this year, the government of Belize, through the Ministry of E-Governance, inaugurated the Digital Literacy Training for Citizens initiative. This initiative is designed to promote digital inclusion, enhance cybersecurity awareness, and equip Belizeans of all ages with the essential skills required to effectively navigate an increasingly digital landscape. Excellencies, right now, technology is transforming the world our children will inherit. But if we want to truly foster the future together, we must ensure that innovation does not deepen existing inequalities. Ultimately, the future we seek for our children must also be guided by inclusion, responsibility, and compassion. Therefore, when we invest in digital access, we must also invest in digital literacy. When we introduce innovation, we must also ensure safety and protection. And when we create opportunity, we must ensure that no child is left behind. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam. Now I am pleased to welcome to deliver remarks the First Lady of the Republic of the Gambia, Her Excellency Fatoumata Barbaro.
Thank you. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is a pleasure to join you in this inaugural Global Coalition meeting. I extend my sincere appreciation to Her Excellency, Madam Melania Trump, the First Lady of the United States of America, for her leadership in conveying this important dialogue. Today, we address an issue that will define our future, the well-being of our children in a rapidly evolving digital world. Technology is transforming how children learn and connect. For countries like the Gambia, this presents both opportunity and responsibilities. Opportunity to expand access to education and responsibility to ensure digital spaces are safe, inclusive, and empowering. In the Gambia, we view investment in children as central to national development. Education remains the cornerstone of economic growth, poverty reduction, and social stability. Our education reforms focus on equitable access, quality learning, strengthened teacher training, expanded STEM education, and integration of digital tools into classrooms. However, challenges remain including limited infrastructure, qualified teacher shortage, and gap in digital literacy, among others. Innovations such as artificial intelligence offers potential to address these gaps through personalized and scalable learning, provided that they are responsibly designed to adapt to the local content and supported by sustained investment. At this time, child online safety must remain a global priority. Children face risks including cyberbullying, exploitation, and misinformation. The Gambia Support Child-Safe Digital Platforms is committed to strengthening our child protection frameworks and calls for collective global actions to safeguard children in a digital space. It is equally important to recognize that access to technology alone is not enough, and that we must equip children with digital skills to participate confidently and creatively in the digital economy. In the Gambia, we are expanding digital literacy in our national curricula and creating opportunities through e-learning platforms and school management systems. In particular, we are committed to empowering girls through STEM education, which is critical to equity, innovation, and reducing vulnerability and persistence barriers to education, such as child marriage. Ladies and gentlemen, despite our efforts, no country can achieve this transformation into the digital world alone. Strong global partnerships are essential to ensure technology are accessible, affordable, and responsive to local realities. Through leadership and innovation, we can build education systems that are inclusive, strong, and capable of preparing children everywhere for the opportunities of the digital age. As First Ladies and as mothers to our children across the world, the future is shaped by the choices we make today. The Gambia remains committed to advancing child well-being, in the digital age, and I am confident that together we can ensure that every child can learn, grow, and strive in our safe, shared digital future. I thank you.
Thank you, Madam. Now I'm very pleased to welcome the First Lady of Montenegro, Mrs. Milena Milatovic.
Thank you very much. Esteemed First Ladies and gentlemen, dear partners, it is a great honor for Montenegro to participate in this summit and to contribute to global dialogue on how technology can help children learn and grow safely in the digital age. Let me therefore thank to our host, the First Lady of the United States, for having us here today. In Montenegro, we believe that digital transformation in education is not only about technology. It is about empowering children with the skills, creativity, and confidence they need to shape their future. To support this vision, Montenegro is focusing on 3 key priorities: strengthening digital infrastructure in schools, developing digital competencies for teachers, and creating a comprehensive and inclusive digital learning ecosystem. One of the most important initiatives within this transformation is the Digital School Platform. What started as a response to the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemics has today evolved into a national digital learning environment, providing thousands of online courses. At the same time, we are transforming schools through Edtech laboratories. These innovative learning spaces allow students to explore robotics, programming, and artificial intelligence. But we all know that technology alone cannot transform education. Teachers play the central role. That is why Montenegro has developed a national framework for digital competencies for teachers and launched training programs. Teachers gain skills and confidence needed to integrate digital tools into everyday learning. We also recognize that digital transformation must be inclusive. Our initiatives aim to ensure that every child, regardless of background, gender, or ability, has access to digital learning opportunities. In particular, we encourage girls to participate in STEM programs, and I am personally very proud of it, and to see themselves as future innovators and leaders. Finally, as we introduced advanced technologies into education, we prioritize digital safety and ethical use of technology. Dear friends, Montenegro looks forward to working together with all of you, our global partners, through this coalition. By sharing knowledge, building partnerships, and supporting innovation, we can ensure that technology truly serves the best interest of every child. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam. Now I'm pleased to introduce the First Lady of the Republic of Paraguay, Her Excellency Leticia Ocampos de Peña.
Good morning. Muy buenos días a todos. I will speak in Spanish also.
I would like to extend my greetings to Her Excellency Melania Trump, First Lady of the U.S., and I would like to thank her for bringing us together. First Ladies, First Gentlemen, and representatives of all countries present. It is an honor to be a part of this meeting, and I am thankful for the invitation to be a part of the Fostering the Future Together Coalition, which brings us together to work together so that our children grow up and develop holistically in a safe digital environment. In Paraguay, we're implementing computer labs and robotics labs in hundreds of schools to develop computational thinking and technological skills. With our Connected Youth program, we will connect thousands of young people in AI, promoting inclusion and opportunities. We understand the importance of responsibly using technology. That is why we created a law to regulate the use of mobile devices in schools. We are also investing in training teachers to strengthen the role as guides in using information safely and ethically. We also know that technology in and of itself is not enough. In order to learn, a child needs to be well fed and cared for. We have a zero hunger program in schools that guarantees daily meals to more than 1 million children. This improves attendance, performance, and remaining in school. Along these lines, we have a program called Seeds of the Future. This is with families for the first 1,000 days of a children's life, promoting early education for all children. Health, early education, and working along with families is of utmost importance. We want to build the foundation for all human beings so that technology has fertile ground in which to grow. Paraguay is promoting a law for the holistic protection of the rights of children in the digital space. This is based on the principles of security from its design. This is complemented by a national observatory, strategic intelligence center that assesses risks such as cyberbullying, and there is quick intervention facing digital threats to strengthen the safety of our children online. Fostering the future is key for international integration. Digital technology has no borders, and protecting children must be a shared global responsibility. In Paraguay, we reaffirm our commitment to working together so that technology translates into more opportunities, more education, and more protection for our children. Thank you all very much.
Madam, thank you very much.
Muchísimas gracias. Ahora me complace presentarles a la primera dama de la República de Senegal, Su Excelencia Marie Koné Faye.
Merci. Je vais m'exprimer en français. Mesdames la première dame.
I'm going to speak in French. Thank
Melania
you.
Trump.
Madam First Lady Melania Trump,
Madam
First Ladies, distinguished guests, dear partners, it's an honor for me to represent Senegal within this World Coalition, fostering the future together. I would like to thank Madam First Lady Melania Trump for this initiative that places technological innovation to the service for the most precious treasures of our nations, our children. Senegal is a young, dynamic nation where what is digital is already a motor for social transformation. However, we are convinced that technology must not be a privilege, but rather a right for each child, whether they grow in the streets of Dakar or in the most remote villages of our rural universe. Artificial intelligence and Edtech tools must not just be gadgets, but they must be levers for equity. Our students must not be content just to learn what is digital. They are already developing concrete solutions for our country. Our engagement within this coalition is thus based on profound belief that artificial intelligence and new technologies are levers for equality. They allow us to break down barriers such as distance and gives to each student in Senegal the same chances of success as any child in the world.
Imaginez des systèmes d'apprentissage
AI for inclusion. Imagine learning systems that are adapted to the learning rate of each child, whether they be in an urban area or a remote village. Senegal has a new platform for ethics in education.
Un référentiel national de compétences à NIA aussi pour que chaque enseignant et chaque élève doit savoir
where
et
each
savoir faire avec ces technologies.
child should have the know-how to deal with these
La littératie
technologies.
numérique. Nous ne voulons pas seulement
Digital
que nos enfants
literacy, we
utilisent la
do not
technologie.
wish only for our
Nous
children
voulons
to
qu'ils la
use
comprennent.
technology. We wish for
Former
them
une
to
génération
understand
de
it,
créateurs
create a generation
et non
of
de simples
creators and
consommateurs.
not just of simple
Et notre
consumers. This is our
C'est
priority.
pourquoi nous
This is why
intégrons
we have
les compétences
integrated
numériques dès le plus jeune âge
digital
pour que chaque fille et
literacy
chaque garçon puisse apprendre,
for the
grandir
youngest
et
students
prospérer.
so that each girl and each
Mesdames et
boy
messieurs,
can learn,
les défis
grow,
du numérique
and
ne connaissent
prosper.
pas de frontières.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Aucun pays ne peut protéger
the
ses
digital
enfants
world has
seul.
no borders. No country can
par
protect
notre
itself on
solidarité
its own. It's
et le
through
partage
solidarity
de nos
and
meilleures
sharing of
initiatives
our best
que nous
initiatives
bâtirons cet
that we will
environnement
build
sûr
this
et radieux
safe
que nous
and
appelons
bright
de nos vœux.
future
Je vous remercie.
that we call our future. Thank you.
Merci, Madame. And now I'm delighted to introduce the First Lady of the Republic of Seychelles, Her Excellency Veronique Hermini.
Good afternoon, First Ladies, First Gentlemen. It is an honor to be addressing you today at this global summit as the First Lady of the Republic of Seychelles. As parents and women empowered to advocate for those most vulnerable, we can indeed work together to build dreams for our children. In the transformative technology and innovation space, I am certain that what we are seeing today in innovation is just the beginning. Education ensures that every child can live with dignity, opportunity, and an equal voice in shaping the future. It is the foundation of a nation's success and its prosperity. Education is the key, and innovative technology, the new pathway. Seychelles, a small island state, has made meaningful progress in integrating digital technologies into education through initiatives such as smart classrooms, digital learning platforms for both teachers and pupils, robotics programs, and emerging AI-supported learning tools to encourage learning. Through such global coalition, we could also review what we have done so far and readjust to ensure we leave no child behind, including those in orphanages, exceptional schools, and on all our islands. Boys Connect is an annual initiative from my office, a 3-day digital camp over the school holidays to help address certain deficiencies and empower our young boys for more positive masculinity and emotional resilience. It is through positive exposures and adventures that we improve the chance of our next generation being more informed and thus better able to navigate challenges and build healthy relationships as adults. In this digital era, where gender-based violence is being aided and escalated using technology, we need to ensure mandatory digital literacy, not only for our children, but for parents, teachers, and caregivers, to support responsible and safe digital learning. We need to ensure that technology improves rather than diminishes our children's critical thinking, age-appropriate content through some sort of quality control and legislative frameworks, cultural and social context so values are not eroded, localize the content and support to remove language or cultural barriers. More cybersecurity awareness workshops at community or school level as part of the support for digital literacy. Lest we forget, as parents, handheld devices should never replace laughter and fun, complements and not replace our judgment nor our parental roles, nor should it push our children to avoid human touch and lose out on emotional resilience. I will end here with a personal commitment to see the advancement of education and learning at all levels and ages in Seychelles, as we also advocate for Sustainable Development Goal number 4 on quality education. I thank you, Madam First Lady Melania Trump, for taking such bold steps in encouraging us to come together to promote digital education for all through this global coalition. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam. And lastly, in this topic, I am pleased to invite the First Lady of the plurinational state of Bolivia, Her Excellency Maria Elena Orquídez.
I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to the First Lady, Melania Trump, for bringing us together in such an important initiative. I would also like to extend a warm greeting to all the first spouses present here today, and Deputy Secretary of State, Chris Lando. Es un honor representar a Bolivia hoy día.
It is an honor to represent Bolivia here today.
A country that is diverse, resilient, and full of history, but above all, full of people who move forward every day with strength and dignity. Bolivia is not just a place on the map. It is a living reality shaped by families who struggle, by children who dream big, and by women who carry their homes, their communities, and their future on their shoulders. And it is from that real Bolivia, not from theory, that I want to speak to you today. Today, the world talks about artificial intelligence, innovation, and the future. But Bolivia, for many, the conversation starts much earlier. It starts with something more basic, more urgent, more human. It starts with a simple question: how do we access? Because for thousands of children, young people, and women, the challenge is not how to use the technologies of the future. It is whether they will ever be able to touch them at all. In our country, having a device or access to the internet is still, for many families, a luxury. There are homes where the digital world is not a part of daily life, not because they do not want it, but because they simply cannot afford it. And that is where this stops being a technological issue and becomes something much deeper. It becomes a question of dignity, of fairness, of opportunity. Because when a child grows up with access, they do not just lose tools. They lose confidence. They lose possibilities. They risk losing their future. That is why in Bolivia, we hold a clear conviction. Technology cannot become a new form of exclusion. It must become a bridge forward, a bridge toward equality. And that bridge begins with the most urgent step: access. Today, we are supporting initiatives such as one laptop per child, together with partners like CEAL, Consejo Empresarial de América Latina, Educa Bolivia, and Aulas Conectadas, to place digital tools in the hands of children who might otherwise be left behind. But we also understand something essential. A device alone does not change a life. What changes a life is what comes after: learning, guidance, the confidence to believe I can. That is why we support programs like Crack the Code, where children, young people, and women are learning not only how to use technology, but how to understand it, create it, and grow through it. They learn coding, computational thinking, artificial intelligence, English, but more importantly, they learn something deeper, that they are capable. And when a person understands that, everything begins to change. Doors begin to open, opportunities expand, independence becomes possible. At the same time, we know that progress must be guided by responsibility. We cannot talk about technology without talking about safety. Without digital education, without responsible use of artificial intelligence, Technology must empower, but it must also protect. And this is not a challenge any country can face alone. Governments, educators, families, civil society, and the private sector must move forward together. Because if we do not, innovation risks remain in the hands of a few, and that cannot be the future we build. Our message is simple. In countries where so many still lack the most basic tools, closing the digital gap is not secondary, it is essential. Because every child deserves the chance to learn, every young person deserves the chance to grow, and every woman deserves the opportunity to move forward with dignity, tools, and hope. And when we make that possible, we are not just expanding access, we are building the future for our families, for our communities, and for our country. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam, and thank you to all of you for this, again, a very important conversation, this one on digital literacy and skills. I want to thank my friend and colleague, Deputy Secretary Chris Landau. Did you want to make a final concluding remark?
Yeah, let me just say, yesterday I had the honor of chairing the United Nations Security Council, and I think, frankly, the discussions that we're having here today are no less impactful and forceful. And so I just want to say I learned a lot from hearing about the innovative programs in different countries. I think there's not necessarily a right or wrong answer to this. Every country is going to have its own challenges and opportunities, and I think we can all learn from each other. So again, I am very grateful to all of you who participated in this panel, and again, thanks to everybody for being here today. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Chairman of the Federal Trade Commission, Andrew Ferguson, to introduce our fourth and final topic today.
Good afternoon, Ambassador Crowley. I am incredibly grateful to the First Lady of the United States, Mrs. Melania Trump, for this invitation, and I am extremely pleased to be here among this assemblage of prestigious guests from across the world, and I am very grateful for the opportunity to hear from all of you about how you are addressing the prospects and challenges of AI in your unique countries, for your unique peoples and your unique institutions, but also bearing in mind that these prospects and challenges are ones we share in common as mankind. The AI age offers immense benefits for learning, connection, communication, opportunity, but it also presents real challenges for child safety. Our children face serious risks when it comes to predatory behavior online and exposure to harmful content. Data is the necessary input for the digital age, and for AI in particular. But our children and their data cannot become grist for the digital mill. The whole world has come to recognize that we must have different rules for our children online and for their data than we have for adults. After all, the purpose of innovation is not progress for progress's sake. The purpose of innovation must be to promote the flourishing of all of the peoples of our nations, and especially our children. We cannot trade off our children's safety and well-being for innovation. At the same time, overly broad or poorly designed regulations risk stifling innovation, limiting access to beneficial information, infringing on free expression, and undermining parental authority by inserting government bureaucrats in the place of mothers and fathers. This is key. In our well-intentioned efforts to promote the safety of children, we cannot replace parents with governments. Instead, the government must come alongside parents and help them navigate the challenges of the internet and of artificial intelligence by making the best choices for their unique children. The goal of child online safety must be to empower parents, not to replace them. That is precisely the vision laid out by President Trump in his recently released AI framework, and has been the vision guiding our enforcement work at the Federal Trade Commission. Here in the United States, President Trump signed into law the Take It Down Act, which was championed by the First Lady to protect children from non-consensual intimate imagery online and deepfake abuse. I head one of the agencies charged with enforcing the Take It Down Act, and I can personally attest that the First Lady was the indispensable force behind this law's passage. Put simply, without her work, we would not have this landmark legislation, period. I urge every nation here to pursue balanced, pro-parent policies that confront harms without sacrificing the benefits of the digital age. Let us embrace innovation that enhances the well-being of all. Let us ensure that our children do not become a trade-off for technological progress. And let us ensure that our policies empower parents rather than replace them. I look forward to our discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Ferguson. And for our first set of remarks on this subject, I would like to call upon the First Lady of the Republic of Ghana, Mrs. Lordina Mahama.
Thank you. Your Excellencies, invited guests, good afternoon to everyone. Thank you, Mrs. Trump, for bringing us together to discuss and commit to protecting children in our digital age. Allow me to share something personal. On the 6th of March, Ghana celebrated 69 years of independence. That day was also my birthday. I went online to read my messages. I must confess, I am an avid talker. I watch video after video because dancing, celebration in our Independence Day, and heartfelt birthday wishes of hope and love. Many came from young people who could not attend our national celebrations, but technology gave them a voice. They stood confidently before their cameras, spoke with such grace, sent prayers and encouragement from every corner of Ghana. Indeed, our world has changed dramatically, especially for our children. Nearly 7 out of every 10 persons use social media. In Ghana, 8 to 15 million persons online are mostly young. As my husband, President Mahama, said during our independence celebration, our children belong to a generation armed with tools earlier generations could hardly imagine. In their hands, a smartphone becomes a classroom, a business platform, a creative studio, and a gateway to the global economy. However, this same technology that opens doors can also be harmful. Without proper guidance, our children are vulnerable. This is why Ghana has been investing in our children's digital future, not just with access, but with protection. It is sad that 1 in 5 young victims of cyberbullying skip school because of their experience online. No child should face such harm. In Ghana, we have strengthened our laws, enforced protection, and launched the Safer Digital Ghana campaign to raise awareness and prevent abuse. We are securing the future of our children. It is moral duty. It is our generational responsibility. It is our shared global mission. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Madam. And now I'm very pleased to welcome the spouse of the Prime Minister of the State of Israel, Mrs. Sarah Netanyahu.
I want to express my appreciation to you, First Lady Melania, for your leadership, for your vision, and for your decision to focus not only on the future generation of America, but also on the future of children around the world. This gathering is about taking a moral stand, It expresses our commitment to all children, understanding that technology brings great benefits to the next generation, but technology also brings great challenges. Alongside my role as the wife of Israel's Prime Minister, I have been working for more than 2 decades as the expert child psychologist for the city of Jerusalem. Through my work, I meet children and teenagers in the most critical moments of their lives, through anxiety and ongoing stress, and especially now during days of war. Day after day, I listen to their fears, their dilemmas, their silence, and also their dreams. I see their pain, but I also see their strength. Over the years, I have learned something simple yet essential. Every child needs someone who will notice them, believe in them, and give them the tools they need to open new doors. Today, some of those doors are digital. Technology can separate people, but it can also bring them together. It can endanger some, but save others. When used properly, it can reduce gaps, identity difficulties early, and give children new tools of language, knowledge, confidence, and creativity. As Winston Churchill once said, with great opportunity comes great responsibility. Children cannot navigate alone in the digital world. They need protection, guidance, and a responsible adult who will ensure that the online space is positive, ethical, and educational. As a mother, I feel this on a personal level. When I raised my sons, Yair and Avner, I learned that reality moves so fast, bringing new challenges to every generation. My children have suffered shaming and violence simply because they are the children of the Prime Minister. We must condemn personal attacks on children in any setting, whether in person or online. I see this gathering as a bond of responsibility between nations, between women leaders, and between mothers who understand that the best way to build a stronger future is to invest in our children today. First Lady Melania, thank you for this important event. May our shared effort help children all over the world to learn better, grow more safely, and flourish with hope. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Madam. Now I am pleased to invite the First Lady of the Republic of Kenya, Mrs. Rachel Ruto.
Distinguished first spouses, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Across the world today, a child is opening a screen, not just to learn, but to discover who they can become. In that moment, confidence is built or broken, and possibilities are expanded or limited. Whether we see it or not, that moment is shaping the future we are all responsible for. It is in recognition of this responsibility that I stand before you today. I bring you warm greetings from His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya, and from the people of Kenya. The President remains committed to innovation, education, and inclusive growth as pillars of our national vision. Today's engagement has shown us that the future is not coming. It is already here. The question before us is no longer whether technology will shape our children, but how we ensure it empowers them safely, equitably, and meaningfully. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, children today are early adopters of technology, growing up in an increasingly connected world. In Kenya, mobile phone access is nearly universal, with over 90% of households connected, while internet usage continues to grow, reaching around 40% of the population, highlighting the scale of digital access shaping children's experiences. Kenyan children are discovering a love for coding and digital art through their gadgets. They are creating animations, designing apps, composing music, and sharing their work with the world. One remarkable example is Argo, Africa's first public environmental augmented reality game developed by Kenyan artist Joanna Olwoch with input from young people. It brings wildlife to life through interactive storytelling, showing how local innovation can inspire global audiences. Excellencies, allow me to briefly highlight Kenya's digital journey. Kenya has made deliberate strides to position itself as a leader in the digital age. We have launched the National AI Strategy 2025-2030, anchored within our Vision 2030 Knowledge Economy pillar to guide responsible and inclusive innovation. Digital literacy is now embedded in our national curriculum, supported by nationwide capacity-building programs that are equipping teachers with the skills needed for a digital future. The government continues to expand access to providing digital devices, including tablets and computers, to schools across the country, alongside strengthening connectivity through the National Digital Superhighway. Complementing these efforts, the Office of the First Lady is advancing a dedicated digital program for schools, distributing devices and supporting robotics training, particularly in girls' high schools, to nurture the next generation of innovators. We are also strengthening child protection through the Children's Act, which provides a legal framework for regulating online content and safeguarding young users. In addition, the Kenya Education Management Information System is enhancing governance by enabling data-driven, evidence-based decision-making across the education sector. In the words of Franklin D. Roosevelt, with great power comes great responsibility, and today we hold great power, the power to shape how technology touches the lives of our children. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Kenya stands ready to lead with intention. Allow me to share 4 key commitments. First, expanding access to digital learning so that every child, regardless of location, can access quality education. Second, integrating artificial intelligence responsibly to support teachers and personalized learning guided by ethics and human dignity. Third, safeguarding children online by strengthening digital literacy, safety frameworks, and protection systems. Fourth, empowering the ecosystem around the child, teachers, parents, and communities, because technology alone cannot raise a generation. As first spouses, we stand at a unique intersection where policy meets people. We see the realities behind the data, and it is from this place that we must lead. In Kenya, we believe the future is not something we wait for. It is something we build together. Technology will shape the world our children inherit, but it is our leadership that will determine whether that world truly serves them. Fellow first spouses, let us rise to the moment. Let us ensure that every child in every nation does not just grow in a digital world, but truly thrives in it. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam. And now for our final speaker for this topic as well as for our session today, I would like to invite the spouse of the Prime Minister of the Republic of North Macedonia, Mrs. Rosa Mitoshka.
Thank you. Distinguished First Lady of the United States of America, Madam Melania Trump. Distinguished First Spouses, dear attendees. It is a great honor to be here with you today. In the digital era, the way children learn, communicate, and shape their
the way in
future
which children
is
learn,
changing
communicate, and build their
before.
future changes faster than ever.
Technology opens new opportunities for knowledge, creativity, and innovation, but it also brings responsibility. We must ensure it is used in a safe, accountable, and accessible manner. In our country, we believe digital literacy must begin early. Our goal is for young people not only to use technology, but to understand it, think critically about it, and use it to solve real-life problems. A key step in this direction is the 21st Century Schools program, implemented in partnership with international organizations and the private sector. Today, 341 primary schools and nearly 1,900 teachers in our country are part of this initiative, providing students with modern learning tools, including over 10,000 microbit programming devices. Through this program, children develop logical thinking, creativity, and problem-solving skills essential for the future. However, digital skills must go hand in hand with digital safety. That is why we are establishing MK SafeNet, the first national safer Internet center, as part of the European network of safer Internet centers. This project brings together institutions, universities, civil society, and the private sector with one common goal: to create a safer online environment for children. Through educational program, 24/7 helpline, school workshops, and support for parents and teachers, MK SafeNet helps children learn how to recognize online risks, protect their personal data, and use technology responsibly. As a high school teacher, my vision is clear. Technology must be a tool that empowers young people, not a risk that endangers them. That is why cooperation is essential among governments, schools, parents, technology companies, and the international community to build a digital world where every child can learn safely and reach their full potential. Allow me to express my sincere gratitude to our host, the First Lady of the United States of America, Madam Melania Trump, for this important initiative and for bringing us together around shared values. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, Madam. And that you have all, over the course of today, mentioned online safety and protection for our children. So this particular conversation is vitally important. And I want to thank you all for your contributions, not just to this part of today's program, but to the entire program today. And of course, looking forward to tomorrow. I also want to thank Chairman Ferguson for being here as well. First spouses and distinguished guests, your next engagement will be a lunch program upstairs in the Benjamin Franklin Room at 1 p.m. I invite you now to use the next few moments. You have about 25 minutes before lunch to visit the Technology Expo that's located just around the corner in the exhibit hall. It's fascinating, a lot of really interesting pieces of technology, also very interactive. So please, we invite you to go and explore that. And when you're finished, please proceed to the elevators near the C Street lobby, and you will be escorted upstairs for lunch. Thank you so much.